Hello, in this video we're going to look at first-degree price discrimination, or sometimes called perfect price discrimination. So we're going to start with a diagram here. A firm faces a downward sloping market demand curve, the corresponding marginal revenue, and marginal cost is going to be constant at $10. And so the first thing we're going to do, without price discrimination, what is the price and quantity produced? So this firm will just set one price, and if that's the case, it'll produce where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So finding where marginal revenue intersects this horizontal marginal cost, that occurs at 15 units of output. Taking this 15 units of output and plugging it into the demand curve, the firm will set a price of $25 per unit. So where marginal revenue equals marginal cost is what the single price strategy would call for. Price is 25, quantity is 15. Moving on, with first degree price discrimination, what is the quantity produced? The firm will produce up into the point where price equals marginal cost. So finding where the marginal cost curve intersects demand, that occurs at 30 units of output. So output occurs where price equals marginal cost, and the quantity is 30. Remember, under perfect price discrimination or first degree price discrimination, each consumer pays his or her maximum willingness to pay for the good. So there is no single price here. There's going to be a multitude of different prices where each consumer is paying his or her maximum willingness to pay, which is going to be given by the height of the demand curve. Okay, let's move on. All right, in the second part of this problem, we're going to look at the same diagram here, but this time we're going to look at some of the welfare effects of first-degree price discrimination. So I'm going to put a table together here. We're going to look at consumer surplus, producer surplus, and total economic surplus as we go from a single price strategy to first-degree price discrimination. So under single price strategy, we just established that the price is $25 and the quantity sold is 15. Consumer surplus is going to be the area of the triangle between the height of the demand curve and $25, the price that consumers pay. So the maximum willingness to pay minus the price that consumers actually do pay of $25. And the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. The height of this triangle is 40 minus 25, so that's what I got here, 40 minus 25. And the base of this triangle is 15 units, okay, or 15 minus 0. And we got this 1/2 here for 1/2 base times height. So doing the math, consumer surplus is $112.50. Producer surplus is going to be this rectangle here, the difference between the price and marginal cost up to the last unit sold, 15. So we have producer surplus here of $225. And total surplus then is just going to be the sum of these two numbers, $337.50. Now with first degree price discrimination, there is no consumer surplus. It is 0. Consumers are paying the maximum. Consumers paying his or her maximum willingness to pay for the good. And in this case, producer surplus will be this giant triangle from 40 to 10 all the way to 30. That's how many units are sold under first degree price discrimination. So 1/2 base times height for this triangle, we're going to get $450 of producer surplus. So total surplus under first degree price discrimination is $450, and you'll notice that total surplus increases as we go from a single price strategy to a strategy that charges every consumer his or her maximum willingness to pay. If we want to look at the deadweight loss associated with the single price strategy, we can just simply look at the difference between these two numbers here. So 450 minus 337.5 means that the deadweight loss under the single price strategy is $112.50. Likewise, we could recognize that under single price strategy, only 15 units are produced and consumed, but the demand curve here, the marginal benefit curve here, lies above the marginal cost for a large number of units beyond that range of 15. So this triangle right here is the deadweight loss associated with the single price strategy. These consumers value these units more than the marginal cost, yet they're not being produced under the single price strategy. And the area of this triangle would be 1/2 base times height. So 1/2 15 times 15, or $112.50. Okay, I hope you found this video helpful.